India takes charge of the future of AI. Global AI power shift begins here and now. World convenes to witness AI's next chapter. Prime Minister Modi to inaugurate Mega AI Impact Expo. Top tech titans to take the stage. India AI Impact Summit 2026.
Hello and welcome. This is 5 Live. In any minute now, we will be cutting across to the big day one of the AI Impact Summit. The Prime Minister is expected to speak there any minute now, and we'll be taking you through that. Also, what happened on day one, who all are participating, and why exactly is this so pertinent and important for not just India, but the global south. I'm Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor. We'll take you through all of that over the next 1 hour. Now, the future of artificial intelligence is being scripted as we speak right here in India. India has officially made its stride into the global spotlight as it hosts the AI Impact Summit 2026. Now, this is a 5-day mega summit at the Bharat Mandapam that's not just about technology, but also about direction, about power, about purpose. In fact, some came out of it saying that it's not just about AI, but it's about the humans who are leading that AI. This isn't another tech conference. It's a global gathering, we are told, where world leaders, innovators, and startups are asking the big question: who is shaping the role of AI for global governance as well? And India wants that answer to include the global south. Now, more than 2.5 lakh visitors are expected, from global tech leaders to tech heavyweights, including Sam Altman, Sundar Pichai. The world has arrived in Delhi for not just innovation, but also inclusion. Now, in minutes from now, we will hear from the Prime Minister as he will inaugurate the AI Impact Expo. But before that, take a look at why this matters so much and what exactly will India take away from it.
The global spotlight is on India hosting the AI Impact Summit 2026. The 5-day summit at Bharat Mandapam aims to shape how AI drives inclusive growth, governance, and human development. World leaders, global tech firms, startups, policymakers, and academia are gathering to shape a shared roadmap for the future of artificial intelligence. With over 2.5 lakh visitors, the summit positions India at the center of the global AI conversation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has hailed the AI summit for bringing the world together and showcasing the capability of India's youth and our progress in science and technology.
For India, this is not a debate about the future of work. It is a decision about the future of growth, social stability, and cohesion. We must act and act now.
India AI Impact Expo 2026 will be held alongside the summit and serve as the national demonstration of AI in action. The expo will feature over 600 high-potential startups and 13 country pavilions, showcased along the themes of people, planet, and progress.
More than 5,000 traffic policemen have been additionally deployed for the easy movement during AI Impact Summit. That happens to be the 5-day long summit where world leaders from more than 20 nations and the participants from 45 countries and 2.5 lakh visitors are expected to be a part of this event.
Global leaders including French President Emmanuel Macron, Brazilian President Lula da Silva, Spanish President Pedro Sanchez, Sri Lankan President Anura Dissanayaka, and Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi Sheikh Khalid bin Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan are participating in the summit.
The UK and India have a very close relationship when it comes to technology. We have a fantastic base in the free trade agreement where countries both looking at two things. One, the adoption of AI to make sure we're spreading opportunity for people both across the UK and India. And secondly, as you say, the responsible adoption of AI.
Unlike earlier AI meetings in the UK, South Korea and France that focused heavily on safety and regulation, India's summit seeks to place development and the global south at the center of the AI conversation. With global technology leaders including OpenAI CEO Sam Altman to Google CEO Sundar Pichai present at the summit, startup companies will showcase their prowess in how AI can be used for security, to prevent street crimes, in sports, and even in medical procedures.
आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस समिट 2026 के लिए भारत मंडपम पूरी तरह तैयार है। 300 से ज्यादा डेलीगेट्स। यहाँ सिर्फ तकनीक की जो क्षमता है सिर्फ उसका प्रदर्शन नहीं होगा, सबसे जरूरी है एआई के बढ़ते प्रभाव पर चर्चा करना, उसकी सकारात्मक व्याख्या के साथ साथ उसका सकारात्मक इस्तेमाल आगे और किन किन क्षेत्रों में हो सकता है। लेकिन उसी के साथ साथ आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस का जो बढ़ता खतरा है दूसरे सेक्टर में, चाहे वो प्रिवेसी का हो या दूसरा हो, उनकी चुनौतियों से कैसे लड़ा जाए, ये भी एक अहम मुद्दा।
As the first international AI summit of its kind being held in the global south, the summit positions India at the center of amplifying the voices of developing nations in global AI governance. With Shivani Sharma and Ashutosh Mishra, Bureau Report, India Today.
You saw just a glimpse of what that summit is actually looking like. But let me cut across to somebody who was actually there in the morning and is now back in the studios with us. Cyrus is here. Cyrus, so much to say, so much to ask when it comes to AI. But I have two specific points. Number one, every time somebody says AI, I'm thinking job cuts. I'm thinking more jobs gone. And second, the image that India has, that we consume AI, we're the global leaders in consumption of AI and thus in interest of a lot of companies, but we are not building AI. How are both these getting addressed? But let's talk about jobs first.
So, Sonal, the thing is, a lot of the concerns related to job loss because of AI have been addressed in the past as well. Ever since 2022, when OpenAI came up with this tool called ChatGPT, people were fearing, okay, where is content creation going to go? Where is the layer one job skill going to go? But it's not something that people are ignorant about. They understand, especially the tech leaders around the world. They have said that I would say coding, the layer one coding jobs, yes, they will be gone because AI is doing that. However, people also need to look at the hindsight. If technology is taking away certain jobs, it will also create certain jobs, certain layer of jobs. However, the concern for a lot of people is how fast is it creating jobs, considering how quickly it's eliminating those. So yes, there is concern regarding job security in a lot of industries, but I guess people need to adapt sooner as possible. It's like you're sitting in a room, there are 5 candidates for an interview. If 3 of them know how to use AI and the 2 of them don't, obviously the 3 that know how to use will be considered. So I think the message across the population is being sent, just adapt as quickly as possible, learn as many AI tools as possible, and then you will be equipped with the right skills to take on any kind of opportunities that come your way.
But they're also training AI into doing more and more jobs.
Absolutely.
I mean, look at us. A lot of our work, even in the newsroom at the moment, happens with the help of AI. India Today Group, in fact, has been one of those leaders in pioneering AI, adapting to it truly. But one really wonders to what extent it will go. But let me come to the second one, which is perhaps easier to answer. This one is a debate.
Yeah,
we don't know which way
absolutely.
this is going. But let me cut to the other one. The big concern for India at the moment is that we are not building AI systems. This has been voiced by people in power, in fact, by Piyush Goyal as well at several occasions. So with this summit, what are we expecting to change?
So India is right now trying to shed that image of its being the backdoor office for all of the IT support systems. And I think we are at the precipice. I mean, basically, we're trying to understand how we can go about doing this. The AI summit, I think, is the pedestal that India needed to be in front of the global leaders and say, okay, we not only have the engineering capabilities in terms of the coders, but we also have the infrastructure. We are acquiring GPUs at astronomical rates. We're also acquiring the talent and training them in order to make sure that whenever the companies come here, we are equipped with not only the knowledge, but also the infrastructure to do that. And this AI summit is kind of a showreel of what India can do, not only just startups, but also enterprises and institutions that can live up to the expectations of these global leaders that, hey, we have this technology, we need the consumers, and we need you to operate it and innovate. So India is saying, okay, we have the resources. Yes, I will not say that we may be on par with some of the global leaders right now, but we are getting there. The fact, Sonal, right now, Google CEO, Anthropic CEO, all of these big techies are coming to India. There is a reason for that. Not only do we have the people who can consume and build the AI, but everybody globally sees India as a major player in the AI development. So yes, maybe down the line, we will have the infrastructure, and India is looking in that direction. That's the good thing, because, I mean, why would some of the top leaders, some of the top tech leaders come to India? Because they see India having the potential, and that's one of the reasons. So I think we also need to stop considering India just as maybe a support system, but also an innovation hub.
Yeah, but help me understand this. When this is said to be one hub, one summit where thousands are attending, there are companies, there are politicians and heads of states, that's layer one. Then there are CEOs of the biggest big tech companies in the world, that's leg number two. Then after that comes a lot of Indian leaders, CEOs and companies, and then a lot of startups, and everybody is just, I got so many calls saying, how can I register? How can I be part of this AI summit as well, right? What happens in these 5 days when the summit is unfolding? What kind of connections are built? What kind of networking happens? Is this the kind of Davos of AI? Can we call it that?
Well, it's an opportunity engine, is I would say. A lot of the startups assemble over there, policymakers, tech leaders. So that entire ecosystem where AI innovations can not only be showcased, but have the opportunity to thrive. I have seen so many startups. Well, I attend a lot of these tech conventions. Smaller companies have their product showcases over there. Now, what happens if they don't fall into the right eyes? I mean, if the right people don't get to see them, they kind of get lost, and which is where I feel summits like these are an excellent platform and an opportunity for the smaller startups to come and showcase their products. Second, policy. I believe that whenever you are making regulation or policy frameworks, especially for a technology that is hardly like 5 to 10 years old, well, in a happenstance, but you need to understand, in order for you to make policies, the government and the enterprises, the people making the technology, need to collaborate and then formulate policies. Because right now, the biggest concern for AI is regulation. How this one is spreading like wildfire, people have no idea. Right now, we're just seeing the chat GPTs and maybe the Geminis, a couple of deepfakes being created. But the game that's happening in the back end is much bigger than what people are getting to see. So they're not even aware of what's happening on the enterprise side. And that's why summits like these are a great opportunity for companies to come, collaborate, try to ideate as much as possible, so that whenever the technology is being created for the future, they can take into perspective what they need to create for the people, so that they also create responsibly. And I think that's something that they'll be doing this during the summit.
Yeah, and I think the most important bit here is regulation. I think the world is grappling with how to regulate AI. I think India is no different. And I'm sure when world leaders meet, that is also going to be top of their agenda. But for the moment, we leave it there, Cyrus. 4 more days to go. We'll keep coming back to you to understand how this entire summit is progressing. Thanks so much for now.
Thanks, Sonal.
All right, cutting across to some breaking news coming in. This is about India-U.S. trade deal, where we are made to understand that some broad frameworks have been made final. India-U.S. have made some significant progress for the trade deal. Sources are now telling India today that India-U.S. trade deal signing could happen as early as next month. And center on that, saying that the chief trade negotiator is heading to the United States. That means the integrities have been sorted out, or perhaps are in the final stage of getting sorted out. Let's try and see if we can get our reporter Karishma on the phone line for more on this. Karishma, take us through what exactly are these details? How soon can we understand the nitty-gritties of this deal?
Well, we are picking up from Commerce Ministry that since the signing of joint statement, now that the contours of the deal have been laid out, these contours need to be translated into a legal agreement. And the first tranche of this deal is, in fact, Commerce Minister Pichai Goyal had also said, is going to be signed in March 2026, which the ministry very particularly says is an effort, though they do not want to commit on the deadline. It's an effort that both the countries are able to do it by next month, for which the India's chief negotiator on the U.S. trade deal, Gautam Jain, will be in Washington to carry out the work towards this legal framework just next week. In fact, the 25 to 18% tariffs will also be done in due time, most likely by this week. And if it does not happen by this week, then of course on India's visit to Washington, that will also get more of a confirmed shape and structure where the exporters can continue to enjoy the major rebates that they were given last week.
All right, Karishma, thanks so much for joining us with the very latest. So here's hoping that we'll be getting more details very, very soon. And the deal set to be signed by next month, beg your pardon, and including all the details, especially on agriculture, which have been a cause of major concern. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to visit Israel next week. Earlier, the Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced the forthcoming visit, highlighting the robust relationship between the countries. Official confirmation from New Delhi is pending, but possible dates are set to be between 24th to 25th of February. That's set to be the expected date, following an invitation extended by the Israeli Prime Minister. India Today spoke exclusively with the Israel ambassador to India to understand more about what exactly could be the outcome of this meeting and when exactly is it set to happen. Listen in.
Prime Minister Netanyahu has already announced that he's expecting Prime Minister Modi next week in Israel. What we should expect, what the people of India and Israel should expect from this high-level meeting, since this visit was in making and you were involved in the preparations. So what are the big deliverables we should be looking at?
Well, we are thrilled, Pranay, to see Prime Minister Narendra Modi coming. I think this relationship is very unique and it's more than just, national interest. I think that there is a sense of feeling, a very deep feeling, both in Israel and India, of friendship towards one another, because we trust another. We've built this for decades now, and we feel very confident in the relationship, especially given the challenges we have to overcome. We are going to we've been taking advantage of the fact that the Prime Minister is coming to try to deliver and finish processes that have been long going in different fields. Okay, so defense is, an essential pillar. And here we are going to sign an updated security agreement that is going to allow us to go much deeper and wider when it comes to our defense cooperation, both G2G, but also in the private sector. Thanks to that agreement, we are going to be able to open up cooperation in new technologies, advanced technologies, because the defense challenges have become very significant with the development of technology.
But are we looking at, since the AI summit is also, so AI application in defense and security, are we looking at those areas, or the quantum computing, or the transfer of technology, because India needs the technology? Is Israel ready to share the high-tech, cutting-edge technology with India?
So fortunately, we are having, as a preparation for the visit, another visit that is starting tomorrow, of our AI czar, the guy in charge of AI in Israel that sits in the Prime Minister's office. He's coming to Delhi, and we're going to have very high-level meetings with people both in high-level government, also in the private sector. The idea on AI is not just to discuss policies of AI, but actually figure out a way of advancing tangible projects. For example, one field that we're interested in is building data centers. That is a tool that we need both in the defense sector and also in the civilian sector.
I was really keen to know from and hear from you that what is the progress on FTA? Can we see some concrete step, some conclusion or some kind of agreement during this visit of Prime Minister Modi?
Well, you know, we just signed the TOR when Minister Piyush Goyal came to Israel, and the first, you know, official negotiation round is going to be happening in Delhi, actually during the time that Prime Minister Modi is in Israel. So I find it hard to believe that we'll be able to nail the FTA now, but I think that the trip can give us the confidence that we will have the political backwind for the negotiation teams to finish it as soon as possible. We want to finish it, you know, before the end of the year, and I think it's doable. It's not that complicated.
Is Israel hopeful that international stabilization force could be deployed in that region, and countries like Turkey or Pakistan or Indonesia or many other countries, those who have committed for the Gaza Peace Plan and ISF for the troop deployment, can they deliver the promise of demilitarization and of Gaza Peace Plan, or like can they make Hamas surrender weapons?
So we prefer to give diplomacy a chance. Now, when it comes to other countries, you know, we stated clearly time and again, and I you know, you can quote me from other interviews, we are not in the business of inviting unfriendly countries that are not committed to the fight against terrorism to be part of this force, okay? And we have said that time and again. So I think that this is very clear. There's a difference.
Who all includes this unfriendly?
Well, we already said that countries like Pakistan, Turkey and Qatar.
The possibility of, you know, dismantling the missile infrastructure of Iran is still being considered as an option on the table by President Donald Trump, or even as...
Well, you have to ask them. Yeah, you have to ask them. For us, it's very clear, because we saw, you know, how they were building this program. They had a plan to create an arsenal of about 10,000 ballistic missiles. Imagine that we had to withstand the biggest ballistic missile attack in the history of the world only last year, when they fired hundreds of them. And it has a great potential of damage. We had to invest billions of dollars to defend ourselves from that. And this was done with the intention of exterminating us, and we are not inventing it. The Iranian regime has stated that time and again. There even is a designated place in Tehran in which they display their plan to exterminate us. So we have to take it seriously. We won't live in a situation in which these limitations won't be put on the Iranians, and if they are not put on them and if they don't accept them, they will have to suffer the consequences.
All right, updates coming in from the CBSE, where the new Class 10th examination guidelines are concerned. Now, an advisory has come out from the CBSE board saying that the first exam is mandatory for Class 10th examinees, for all Class 10th appearing students, and missing any 3 exams or more to make students ineligible to take the second exam as well. Now, what is the background to the story? Remember, from this year onwards, CBSE had given students a second chance. They had the choice to appear and give their 10th examination boards the second time around if they wanted to improve their marks. Maybe they got nervous the first time around, or pressure was too much, or whatever given the circumstances. Now, remember, board examinations are already underway, and at the middle of that, CBSE now saying that people and kids will have to appear. If you want to exercise the choice of you know, giving the exam the second time around, you have to appear the first time. Remember, Class 10th examinations start tomorrow, and that situation has been made very, very clear by the CBSE board. Anmol Bali, my colleague, joins us for more details on this. Anmol, what was the need for the CBSE to underline this entire comment in this fresh advisory? Help us understand what was happening. In my understanding, it was always very clear that there was a second chance offered, am I right? That meant that you had to always take the first one.
Sonal, as you know, the Central Board of Secondary Education has just introduced 2 exam systems for Class 10 starting from 2026 board cycle, which makes the first board exam mandatory for all students and restricts who can appear for the second and is the improvement attempt because CBSE has improved this new system. The first will take place this month in the month of February, and the second, which is the optional one, the second one will take place in the month of May. The CBSE has now introduced this new system where they have clearly said that the first cycle will be mandatory for the students, and if one misses 3 subjects in the first attempt, he will be barred for the second cycle of the examination. This is a big development from the Central Board of Secondary Education because they have introduced a very new system. And according to CBSE, they have done this for the improvement of the students, but to make exams compulsory and important too for the students. Sonal.
All right, Anmol, thanks so much for joining us with the very latest. So that's the big update to all those students who are appearing in the board examination starting tomorrow. Remember that giving it the first time around in the first leg is absolutely mandatory, and that only permits you, that's the only gateway to actually giving a second attempt as well. No second attempt for those who miss it the first time around. It's BJP versus BJP on the issue of pollution. For months here on 5 Live, we have been warning about India's dangerous air quality levels. And now, the fight has erupted within the ruling party itself. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has called Delhi's air a gas chamber. Said nothing wrong, but he also went on to add that people in Uttar Pradesh breathe cleaner air and live in healthier environment. Is that really the case? Well, let's go on to listen into what more he said. He has warned that pollution harms lungs, makes breathing difficult and puts children and elderly and also asthmatic patients at risk. Very well, the Yogi Chief Minister over there. But he has also advised vulnerable groups to stay indoors. But what exactly are these comments all about? They're all very welcome, but let's listen in to what he said in detail.
देख रहे हो ना क्या दिल्ली में घुटन भरी जिंदगी हो गई है, ऐसे लगता है जैसे गैस चैम्बर में हो। एयर क्वालिटी इंडेक्स में 400 से ऊपर, दम घुटता है, आंखों में जलन होती है, सांस लेने में दिक्कत होती है। डॉक्टर को बुजुर्गों के लिए, बीमारों के लिए, बच्चों के लिए कहना पड़ता है कि आप घर से बाहर मत निकलिए। इतनी खराब स्थिति होती है।
Nothing wrong in his comments. They are welcome as well. But here's the political contradiction here. The BJP has been in power in Delhi for almost a year now under Chief Minister Rekha Gupta. So when the BJP Chief Minister attacks another BJP Chief Minister, what exactly is happening? And here's the even more uncomfortable geography. Noida and Ghaziabad are also part of Delhi NCR, and they are technically under the UP Chief Minister himself. Both Noida and Ghazia also record, pollution levels as severe, if not more, than the national capital. Now, this reaction by Yogi Adityanath, as welcome as it is, calls for a lot of introspection even within the BJP. But of course, the opposition was quick to reply. The Aam Aadmi Party says they put out a tweet saying that Yogi Adityanath has exposed the BJP's governance model, calling it a public admission of failure. Also, the Congress had also stepped up in reaction to this comment, asking whether this rare moment of internal criticism will finally push the Rekha government to act. Because, finally, beyond these party lines, India's air remains hazardous. It doesn't matter if you're in UP or Ghaziabad or even Lucknow for that matter. Air quality is poor all across, especially the northern part of the country, and 60% of Indians are breathing bad air. 60% of the country is breathing air that is causing damage to their lives, and that's the reality that we need to get after. All right, let's get a perspective on this story, on what triggered this reaction out of the UP Chief Minister. My colleague Samarth joins us, Samarth Srivastava joins us for more details on this. Samarth, I believe the UP Chief Minister was in Gorakhpur, in his hometown, when he actually made this comment. The day he made the comment, I went back and checked the AQI. AQI was still about 120, 130 on that day, which is way beyond what it should be. He's right that it's not at par with perhaps Delhi, but come on, we are officially in spring. This is not the time to talk about it. But importantly, what I want to understand from you is what triggered this reaction out of the UP Chief Minister to criticize another Chief Minister of his own party?
Well, I would say, Sonal, that it's a shocking statement coming from CM Yogi Adityanath because we haven't seen such statements coming from him, especially when it comes to the party line. We have seen it so far in the politics of Uttar Pradesh, if you compare it with the politics of Delhi. But this is coming from Yogi Adityanath, where he clearly says that Delhi has become a gas chamber. It has become really difficult to breathe there. There is some impact on eyes as well. Doctors are suggesting the children not to go out homes, even elderly to stay inside indoors. So that's what CM Yogi Adityanath is saying. And also what he interestingly refers to the Gorakhpur, because he was addressing Kalyan Mandapam in the 5th edition of Kalyan Mandapam in Gorakhpur, where he clearly says that if you breathe here, you won't find much difficulty in breathing. But if you compare breathing from here in Gorakhpur to Delhi, though we have to
But Samarth, if he goes back to Lucknow, the air is as bad, no?
Yes, exactly. You were there, I know. The point is that we have to understand what he was talking about, whether he was talking about Gorakhpur by calling it here when we breathe, or he was talking about entire Uttar Pradesh, because if you talk about the entire Uttar Pradesh, as you rightly said, Noida and Ghaziabad are also the part of Uttar Pradesh. And we have seen if Delhi is talking in this particular situation, then Ghaziabad and Noida aren't much far. So that's the ground reality. And we even saw during Diwali as well what happened to the AQI of Lucknow. So this has been a problem not just for Delhi. Yes, Delhi has crossed all the limits, I must say. Even NCR, why just Delhi? NCR is also included in that particular part where Ghaziabad and Noida is there, and they're also the part of Uttar Pradesh. So CM Yogi Adityanath referring, though opposition have got much edge in this particular story by sharing that particular video from the UP Assembly, where Yogi Adityanath is slamming the own government in the name of BJP in Delhi. But if CM Yogi Adityanath has said, then obviously opposition is also asking whether Delhi, if Delhi is suffering, then whether Noida and Ghaziabad are in the part of Uttar Pradesh. Back to you.
Yeah. I also have my colleague Aishwarya Paliwal with me. Aishwarya, the timing of this comment is what has really intrigued me. This is coming just at the time when the Rekha Gupta government is about to complete 1 year in power. Perhaps the one criticism that she has faced constantly has been of not resolving air quality, sort of giving a very, very bad response to, or so-called response of saying that we've cleaned up Yamuna as well. On both these accounts where she stands to be, answering most questions, to hear this from your own Chief Minister, is there more to it that meets the eye?
Well, definitely, Sonal, there is more to it than what we are seeing at the moment. And, let me tell you, let's call a spade a spade. It's the Bharatiya Janata Party which actually had made pollution and the cleaning of the Yamuna as some of the major issues on which they fought the elections and came back to power after 27 long years. So the people of the national capital, and not just those who stay in Delhi, but in the adjoining areas also, they were hopeful that they will get some kind of a respite. The government, however, let me tell you, has gone back on the drawing board, and there are certain policy decisions that they are taking. The government itself at the moment is pointing towards the fact that it will take them some time. And let me tell you, some of the rough estimates that they have in mind is at least another year. That's what BJP insiders are telling me. It will take them at least 1 more year to make sure that they clean up the year, and also to make sure that they have policies, firm policies in place. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, by pinpointing that it is worse in the national capital, is actually trying to tell people that if you are staying in Uttar Pradesh, stay put. We will get investment, and we will make sure that the air quality improves with time. So a battle of sorts is taking place between both the chief ministers, the central government keeping a hawk's eye, but also trying to make sure that they do come up with certain policies. But let me tell you, from what I can gather, Sonal, it will at least take another year for the Delhi government to get a grip on the pollution situation in the entire Delhi NCR region.
For me, what's been interesting is that the Rekha Gupta government has not responded to Yogi Adityanath's comment. So some back-channel coordination is happening between the BJP at the central level to ensure this does not escalate. But we'll see where this story goes from now. For the moment, thank you both for joining us. All right, let's cut across to the good news of the day that we have for you. A baby barely 10 months of age has become Kerala's youngest organ donor, giving life to 5 people, even as the baby was laid to rest with state honors. Why? Because the family decided to allow the hospital authorities to harvest the organs of the little baby, and that is being lauded as a noble act. Baby Alan's case also spotlights the need for more awareness around the shortage of organs in India and the need to come forward to help patients in dire need, even if you're as young as just 10 months. Here's a report.
10-month-old baby Aline laid to rest with full state honors. A mark of respect to an act that deserves just so much appreciation. The 10-month-old baby, Aline Sharon Abraham, was declared brain dead on the 13th of February after meeting with a road accident. In an act of magnanimity, her family, who escaped with injuries in the same accident, agreed to donate the infant's organs. The baby's organs has given life to 5, liver to a 6-month-old baby in Thiruvananthapuram. Sharon also donated 2 kidneys, a heart valve, as well as her eyeballs. Kerala Health Minister Veena George also attended the last rites.
The youngest organ donor in the state. So from the deepness of their grief and their sorrow, so it is quite I don't know how to describe that. So it's such an act which shows love and care for humanity, which is a model for many others.
Others thanked the grieving parents and lauded them for this brave act. With this gesture, baby Aline has become the youngest organ donor in Kerala. In India, as per the government data, 3,000 people died in the last 5 years waiting for organs. Right now, the list is a very long one of patients waiting for organs. About 82,000 patients across India are waiting for some sort of the organ or the other. There's a huge demand for kidneys, for example, with 60,000 plus patients waiting. 18,000 plus patients are waiting for liver. In India, the donor rate is also poor at 1 per million population. Doctors are relying heavily on live donations. Patients, in fact, who are getting these organs from their family members. But the essential part of this is to stress on cadaver donations, which is donations from the deceased.
Retrieval of the body organs by the specialist should be available at all district levels and at least medical colleges of the country. This department should be developed because we are lacking that infrastructure also. That is again a problem.
Baby Aline's humanitarian gesture sends a powerful message of helping those while in dire need. With Bureau Inputs, Sneha Mordani in New Delhi for India Today Television.
That's your reminder that if a 10-month-old can, then so can you. In times of misery, in times of absolute distress, when you suddenly lose a loved one, ensure that at least their passing away is coming in handy for others. And this is clearly an inspiration a lot of us can take back this Monday morning as well, and have to give credits to the government as well, ensuring that this is celebrated with full state honors and recognizing it as an honor, inspiring so many others as well. So India Today as well congratulates the family for having shown so much courage in this massive, massive hour of grief for them personally.